Today was a day where I was thinking it's really early. I don't know what I'm going to do in the middle of the day. Don't know what I'm going to do in that hot part of the day where you don't really want to be in the car chilling or like doing anything. Really, you just want to be swimming. But yeah, I ended up at this gorge. I've been walking for ages, and because of that weird time of year that I'm here, I can't tell if usually this would all be full of water and I've gone really far, or if this is normal and I just haven't found the spot yet. Like, pretty sure there's a cool place to swim up here. But yeah, it's definitely been one of the best places I've stopped at in terms of like an adventure, because it's been real full on getting up here. Pretty sure I'm going to invest in a full on like waterproof backpack. So I got both my hands free, because like this is what I have been using. So $3 waterproof bag from Kmart, which did the job. But I think in the future I wrecked a mic as well using that, because I put the mic straight in there and it's not fully waterproof. It gets wet in there. And these mics that I'm using, if they get wet at all, that's the end of them. They're only $80 though, so they're like the kind of tech that I like. They work really well. They're versatile for all the uses, and yeah, they're reliable, and they're cheap to replace if you do drop them in the river. So yeah. Oh man, I'm tired. It's good though. I want to be tired. I want big full days of adventures. Coming in here too, this was a place where like I would be thinking something or have a question in my awareness, and then there'd be some metaphor in nature that would answer it, like heaps. Like that always happens, but it was like amplified here. It's like a really cool place. And yeah, fuck. Usually I would have just jumped in the water up there, but something tells me that there's something more to see. And then I thought, I'll just have a break. I've got like this trail mix. This was full of dollar coins, and I was like, like a handful of trail mix isn't quite enough for a hike. So I pulled all my dollar coins out. Dollar coins for like washing machines at laundromats and campsites. Just got like $40 worth of dollar coins before I left. Walked in like in my usual attire, no shoes, and the bank teller was like, do you bank with us? Like, because I look like a homeless person who wouldn't have money. But I do have money. Isn't that odd? Yeah, I don't do the whole like gold watch suit and like fancy belongings and like status symbols and all that at all. Even like I don't know, just not interested. I'd rather people look at me and think that I have nothing and like don't give it a second thought, because the kinds of people that are looking for those status symbols and stuff, I find generally, I don't know, they want to exploit you in some way, or like they want to play the game of like how fancy we can be, or like the whole ego world. And like, I don't know, I just want to be like one of the people. I don't want to fuel that for a start, like the culture of like, I said in a recent video, like where we always want and need more because everybody else has it, and like nobody can afford it, but they keep maxing out their credit cards and shit, like whatever the culture is. I don't participate in it, so I don't actually know, and I'm just throwing random judgments out there. But yeah, I don't play the game of having fancy stuff for no reason. Even my cameras and stuff that I use like aren't like special status symbol things in the camera world either. Like, it's just what can do the job really well. Like the microphone, it's $80. It's not like some like $1,000 microphone that I can tell everybody how fancy my setup is. Maybe I should have $1,000 microphone. Maybe I should have like fancy cameras and fancy stuff, and then I could play the game, and then I could become super successful. That's the trap. Just be yourself. Resist the urges and the temptations to enter into these games of fake, inauthentic nonsense, and you'll be rewarded eventually. That's what I'm telling myself. I have been rewarded. It's just slower. It's slower than jumping into a game and just playing it well. But you can do that too. Like, I just want to create my own game and be myself in a way that's like so free, it's ridiculous. And yeah, I guess part of the journey that I'm on right now is what freedoms am I willing to give up, or like what games am I willing to play to like make this easier on myself. Like, because yeah, my early 20s and everything was like, fuck the system, bring it all down. I don't want any of this. I didn't ask to be born into this world. I don't subscribe to any of this society. And now I'm like, well, it's here and it's massive and it's interconnected everywhere. There's no escaping it. So like, how can we contribute to it and shape it in a way that benefits others who are similar, who are feeling like they want to be more free and they want to do more meaningful things and like not subscribe to inauthenticness and fake worlds. I just want to be in the real world and be real. Encourage people to do more of that. Encourage myself to do more of that. Yeah, I like to think the $1 million question, like, what would you be doing if you had $1 million? Like, you already had everything you wanted, what would you do then? Probably just do this, but it would be easier. That's all it would be. I always try and do what I really want to be doing. There's all those famous quotes like, live each day as if it's your last. All that stuff, it doesn't really work. Because if today was my last day, I don't know, even that I would just be sitting here. Like, why would you like all of a sudden scramble to change everything or like do all this crazy stuff that you never did in your life? I don't know. I think one quote I saw at some point in my life was like, if you wake up too many days in a row and you're not happy about what you're doing, then you've got to change something. That's like the realist version of like, live each day as if it's your last. Like, if you just keep waking up every single day and you're just like, fuck this, at a certain point, like whether it's like a week, a month, a year, whatever time frame you give yourself, you got to ask yourself, like, why are you doing it? But I think 24 hours is like a bit bipolar. Not to use like a mental health label in a derogatory or like shitty way, but yeah, like if you were just like, I'm not happy, and it's like you wake up tomorrow, like if I woke up tomorrow and I was like, this sucks, like this isn't making me happy, and I was like, no, I'm going to change my whole life and do something totally different, that wouldn't really work out, would it? I guess a lot of us kind of do that, but we don't act on it. We just, I don't know. What do people do? What do you do? Do you make changes to your life when your spirit is screaming out that you need to change stuff, or do you just bottle it up and force it deep down inside yourself and lock it up and never to be heard from again, whatever comes up inside you? Oh man, I tried to do that for ages. But at the same time, I've never fully bottled it up. I've always I've tried to convince myself that like I could find a way to like, I've always listened to that voice inside of me that's been like, you need to do more. Like, you have potential. Like that voice that tells you your potential and what's possible for you. You know, and where all those pictures in your imagination. Like I've always looked at all that and I've always listened. But like at the same time, the programming's been louder. Like how I've been raised and the culture and the society. Like, so I've had dreams and I've acted on my dreams, but like in a way that it was like maybe 10% of my time and effort and energy was going towards that, and 90% of it was like having a full-time job and paying the rent and like, you know, doing the expected things that everybody's supposed to do. And as I got older, I moved, probably swung the pendulum the other way, where I was like doing like 90% of what I was dreaming about and 10% of taking care of business. And now I'm trying to find the middle, trying to find balance. And yeah, that's the journey. Every video journal that I've been recording lately seems like what it's all about, like this whole journey. And then I'm like, but maybe like if I watch them all back, like it'll be like one coherent stream of like, oh, these are all the things that you needed to figure out, and they're all in a row and they all make sense. But as I'm documenting them, I'm just kind of letting it all flow out of me. So I have no idea. But like I will watch them all because that's my process now. I record all these journals, and then when I'm in reception, I'll watch them all back to back, and I'll see the story of who I was becoming in this moment that you're watching right now. Click the like button for me. Leave comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks heaps if you do those things. It's very helpful. See yous when I'm looking at yous.